A waiting game.
He's late. He's a psycho. Can't expect punctuality.
The hunter and the hunted.
He's just picked up a girl.
It's him.
Balancing life.
Child locks. For your safety.
And death.
Chris, there's no time. There's no time!
A dramatic new series.
You see, you can lock me up, or you can even kill me. But you can never stop me.
Robson Green stars in the award-winning Touching Evil, Wednesday and Thursday at 9 on ITV.
Now in Carlton, all the news in London tonight with Mary Nightingale and Alistair Stewart.
Good evening. A schoolboy is questioned over the death of a baby.
Tonight, police confirm the death at St George's Hospital is being treated as suspicious. We're live with the very latest.
Plus, Colin Stagg speaks out as his estranged wife accuses him of threatening to kill her.
And Boys Own top the bill. We meet the world's biggest boy band as they prepare to headline in Hyde Park.
A boy of 11 has been questioned over the death of a baby in South London. His mother has also been interviewed by detectives.
The baby died at St George's Hospital in Tooting. It's understood the boy and his mother were looking after the baby boy for another woman. Simon Harris is at St George's now. Simon, what do we know?
Mary, the police have released only the barest of details so far, and I suspect it'll be some time before the full story emerges. What we do know is that an ambulance was called to a house in Balham, not far from here, the home of a 31-year-old woman and her 11-year-old son. The woman, we understand, was looking after an 8-month-old baby boy for another woman who was at work at the time. Now, exactly what happened is unclear, but the little boy was rushed to hospital, admitted immediately to the intensive care unit here at St George's Hospital in Tooting, and placed on a life support machine. But sadly, despite the efforts of doctors and the nursing team, they were unable to save him, and he was declared dead some 48 hours after being admitted.
Simon, what are the police saying so far?
Well, the police have questioned the 11-year-old boy and his mother. The woman, we don't know whether she was a child carer, a professional nanny, or simply a friend or relative of the baby's mother. Both she and her son have now been released on police bail. Now, a short time ago, the police confirmed that they are treating this as suspicious, and they've handed over the inquiry to a major investigation team.
And what word, if any, from the hospital, Simon?
Again, very little. Obviously, for the nursing team involved, it's a very traumatic time. Because there's a police inquiry, it's now a very delicate matter. And of course, uppermost in everyone's mind here at the hospital must be the feelings of the little boy's parents, for whom this must be a devastating time. What the hospital have told us is that there will be a post-mortem examination tomorrow morning. Mary.
Thank you, Simon.
And this latest tragedy comes just days after the death of another London baby. Earlier today, the Australian nanny accused of harming 6-month-old Caroline Yongan was freed from Holloway prison on bail. 26-year-old Louise Sullivan is charged with grievous bodily harm. The baby from Cricklewood in northwest London fell into a coma last week. She died in Great Ormond Street Hospital on Tuesday.
The man cleared of killing Rachel Nickel on Wimbledon Common tonight denied threatening to kill his wife. But he told London Tonight, "I did predict her death." Stagg was released on police bail yesterday after his wife told police he'd made direct threats to her.
The bad times just won't go away for Colin Stagg. The man cleared of murdering Rachel Nickel was back today at his Roehampton home on the morning after he was arrested again by the police. This time accused of threatening to kill his estranged wife and boyfriend.
All I said was they're both going to be dead by the third full moon. I mean, I didn't say I was going to go and kill her or anything like that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she's quite capable of doing that herself.
Stagg saw Diane Beddoes as his hope for the future after walking free from the Old Bailey. But the happy times turned sour. The marriage would be a stormy one, ending in his wife going into hiding. And yesterday, the police called after she accused him of trying to kill her.
Apparently she was in tears and all that, and she wanted to speak to me, and she said she was missing me a lot and all that kind of rubbish. And I refused to speak to her. Then, because I was still upset and angry about the threats that her and her boyfriend made to me and that, I thought I'd throw in a threat myself.
Police believed these were the hands of the killer who stabbed Rachel Nickell 42 times on Wimbledon Common. But Colin Stagg can never again be tried for that murder because he was cleared after the judge ruled that a police operation to use a woman officer as bait was entrapment. The police now think a serial killer may have been responsible for the murders of Kent schoolgirl Claire Tiltman and Rachel Nickell. Detectives say there are chilling similarities in the way both women were killed.
I've always said that all along. There's been so many murders that have been similar to this. I've always believed it has been a serial killer.
Diane Stagg left her husband last August. She would later tell a Sunday newspaper that he had confessed to her his guilt over the murder of Rachel Nickell. Stagg says that she's a liar, which led to threats and the police arrest yesterday. Certainly the happy days before their wedding have ended in ruin, and Stagg isn't optimistic about his future.
Who want me? No, I mean, like I said, I'll never be able to trust anybody again, you know. I was that close to Diane, we were very close friends, and suddenly she just turned on me.
Colin Stagg is now on police bail as a report is prepared for the Crown Prosecution Service over allegations that he made death threats against his estranged wife. These are troubled times for Stagg, who may have been cleared by the courts of murdering Rachel Nickell, but who continues to complain that many won't accept he's innocent. At Roehampton, this is Christopher Peacock for London Tonight.
The suspected killers of black teenager Stephen Lawrence may have left a house carrying bags of bloody clothing under the noses of a police surveillance team. That was the evidence heard as the inquiry into his death reached its 14th day. The new details emerged following yesterday's vigil at the spot where Stephen died in Eltham. A civilian photographer with the Metropolitan Police told the inquiry he watched two suspects carrying black plastic bags emerge from a house under observation. But he said he did nothing because he didn't have a mobile telephone.
There's an unholy row threatening the tranquility of Westminster Abbey. The Abbey's choirmaster was sacked yesterday, along with his wife, the concert organiser. They've been accused of mishandling the choir's finances, but both have denied doing anything wrong, and they're not going quietly.
It leaves me feeling almost as if there's been a death in the family. And that probably sounds very strong, but that's how I feel.
For 6 years, Ruth Farnsworth's son was a choir boy at Westminster Abbey. When he left 2 years ago, he was head chorister. The family came to know organist and choirmaster Martin Neary in that time. His dismissal, she says, has come as a body blow to both parents and the boys.
I know for a fact that people have been firing letters off in every direction at the highest possible level, because they would like to see Dr. Neary reinstated.
After 10 years at the Abbey, Martin Neary's glittering career reached a peak when, in just a week, he organised the music for the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, and received a personal honour from the palace as a thank you. Now he's been sacked after an investigation showed that he'd set up a company to handle the choir's contracts, but not told the Abbey authorities. That, says the Dean, was a breach of trust, and he had to go.
It does seem absolutely remarkable that Dr. Neary, whose character has been considered absolutely clean throughout his entire professional career, and certainly in his first 9 years at the Abbey, should suddenly turn into a dishonest person, coinciding precisely with the moment that the new Dean of Westminster arrives.
The Dean, though, won't be moved and denies he's acted heavy-handedly. In a statement he says, Dr. Neary behaved in such a way that it's now impossible for the Dean and Chapter any longer to invest trust in him. If the success of the choir is anything to go by, then this saga has all the makings of a bestseller. Reputations are at stake and livelihoods on the line. The fate of the Abbey organist has inflamed passions as high as any top C from one of the choristers. Martin Neary will be appealing against his dismissal to the Queen. This really is a row of biblical proportions. This is Gilly Parton for London Tonight.